Alright, hello and welcome to the 12th episode of What If Civilization Started on Another Planet. The last episode was quite a bit chaotic with a lot of wars going on. I mean, this is an ongoing war, so we will continue that. That's all I have to say for that, because this is going to be still chaotic because these two are still fighting because these guys wanted more land because they were hoping to seize more. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making more gains like down here in this area. That should probably be a little bigger. There we go. And they're going to try to take back some of their old land because if we look at the provinces, they had all of this right here, but they kind of fumbled and lost it. So they're trying to retake it, but it's pretty heavily fortified, as well as a little front line to kind of like block it off right here, which they do successfully. And now the borders are looking like this, and being far from over. So they're gonna have a great time because these guys' goal is to kind of make a spearhead as well, to just kind of spearhead towards the capital. But obviously these guys, still being fairly strong, are not going to let that happen and kind of break through right here. And this is very bad. They kind of fumbled, and let's just say that it's not going good. They kind of messed up, and they tried to make an encirclement right here, but are propelled backwards by almost making an encirclement, which makes these guys have to leave, which allows them to kick them out, as well as this large part right here, but not fully because it only gets pushed back to around there. But these guys also start pushing in over on this side, but do fail right over here. So that part doesn't go as well, but this one does go pretty well. So as we can see, right now I think they're winning. If I look at the yes, I mean it's really even. They just have a little extra space right here, so it's actually pretty even right now. But who knows what's gonna happen later? Because right now it's still ongoing. But what we will be focusing on is the absolute chaos now that is these two places just meeting together, because it's completely different with like ideas, ideologies. Like, you get the point. These guys, peace and friendship. And as I explained, these guys, I don't need to explain that. This right here is just a great example as a general. That's more than enough. So these three, I mean, especially these three, they're like the best friends. Especially like these three, as well as the like all of these guys. But they're like best friends, practically, like practically siblings. But I don't know, because this one right here, it's always felt a little odd. It doesn't feel like it fits in. And now that it's met these guys, it feels like it's more like them. And I mean, they're not thinking in a bad way, because like these guys are much strong. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Anyways, these guys are much more powerful and like more advanced than these guys. So like, well, not instantly, but slowly but surely, these guys kind of began to distance themselves from these guys and kind of begin to like think and join like these guys to be like friends. So now you think, well, obviously they don't tell these guys anything, so it's kind of a little hush hush, a little secret right there. But in the meantime, while they're thinking on what to do, what they will do is they will expand a little, but not too much, because I don't know, they can't get too much bigger. Also, they don't want to like get too like they don't want to get too big because they already had this little thing right here, which wasn't the best idea, if I'm gonna be honest. They just thought it would be like cool to like show off, but maybe it wasn't the smartest idea, because it is quite expensive to hold on to that area of land. So who knows? They might give it up later, but for now they'll keep a hold of it. So there's that. And obviously we're going to be seeing the strongest ones out of the strongest three, of course. They will obviously do some expanding. If I could just find, yes, here we go. So they'll just they'll just do a little expanding by the coast right here. So nothing much, but something. And of course, we will be seeing this pinkish purple team do expanding. Yes, because they will actually get quite a bit of land right here. Perfect. But I also just want to point out what's strange now is like, well, not strange, but like with all this new like equipment and advancements for these guys, this will help them out, and they will actually do a lot of expanding, not expanding, exploring, and they actually get all of this done. And first of all, they don't know if this is an island. I mean, they're probably thinking because like this has been island, 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 island. So maybe island. Whoopsie. Whoops. But you never know because the green team still does a bit of expanding. I mean, exploring right here. Why do I keep saying exploring? And so do these guys going up here because if I'm gonna be honest, they're very forgettable. No one's really talking to them. They're kind of like doing their own thing. They like I don't think really anyone cares on like what they're doing, so they could practically do whatever they want, and that is going to be expanding actually. How surprising. Now, we will also be seeing this country do some expanding, but surprisingly what's going to happen is like these guys are not a big fan of that. Like they kind of want to have most of the island to themselves, and these guys agree like fine, fine. You can have this island. Yes, you can have this part of the island. So they start colonizing and doing this one. How funny. So yeah, they get a last bit of land right here just because they can and they want to kind of just like piss them off, and they get a bit of this and boom. And now these guys didn't really think about that, but if I'm going to be honest, this is for now pretty useless because obviously you can tax people with this area to move somewhere, but that would be these two areas right here because no one's going to go down here and up there. Well, that's actually unless some new countries or stuff starts happening here. So, but until then, we will see the orange team use the money they have to just kind of fill up this area with their own little pieces of land. And with this age of absence of really a superpower, I guess it's been really strange because like there's been a few countries that have been emerging as like superpowers. That would be the dark blue team. That would also be the orange team. What else would be really a superpower? I guess like for now those two are really dominating, but at least in this area, I mean, these two are going back and forth. So I guess it's like well, I mean this one's still the strongest, but like in their own regions, it would be like the orange team and the dark blue team with their own kind of thing. I guess this one because they're like the only one there. Haha, how funny. But we will be coming back to this because these guys will continue their reign of terror and continue to go down here for some more land catching. But this isn't going to go too well because these guys would just kind of go here and try to cut almost a very large amount of their army, which they almost do, but are eventually pushed back like here. And this was way too close of a call, so these guys are now thinking like new and different strategies because they don't want that to happen again because maybe next time they won't be so lucky. But what's also not lucky is these guys just losing this entire area. Luckily, it wasn't that much troops there, but they still did it, so that kind of happened. Also, these guys are like ungodly tempted to just start attacking this to get some land. I'm just saying, but who knows? They might get attacked by these guys behind their back, so they are not sure. I mean, they're probably gonna get attacked anyway, so you never knew what might happen. Oh yeah, we're going to see the purple team with no one to really talk to or really care about. They're going to do a lot of expanding, go down here just so they can maybe be able to talk and have conversations with their fellow countries, I guess. So now these guys actually just got pretty big. I mean, everyone's like kind of shocked because they're like, wait a minute, you just became like a really big country. Why did you just do that? Well, because they can, and because they've been getting stronger. I mean, so have most countries, because like a lot could get a lot bigger, which actually reminds me that the blue team has almost certainly expanded from their original size. So I will be redrawing them now to what they shall be. There we go. They have expanded quite well, and I don't think there's going to be much more expansion because, oh my goodness, I just realized these guys own both of the Damn, they're going to be rich. I don't know how we didn't really realize that. Anyways, we will be seeing the blue team actually because they will be doing something. They will invade this country. In simple words, what they're going to do is they're going to send whatever army they have left to try to capture this so they can eventually reform their former empire of being like the largest / second largest, strongest country. So what these guys will do, they will just kind of start going here and attempt to seize the capital and just completely capitulate the country, which they get really close to, but it fails. That's right. These guys will actually make a very big pushback down here. Because look, if we were to look at, hold on, just gotta color that in. If we were to take a look at all the provinces, these guys are only 2 provinces originally, which they actually will kick them out. There we go. So, but here's the thing. Whoopsie. These guys are very important because this was the second largest city, which also had a very large amount of military. Because the main militaries were around like these borders and stuff. Well, I mean, obviously, but like that just shows not that many were actually down in here. I mean, obviously they came here and stuff, but there was a large amount of troops, especially like around these provinces, because the coalition and everything. So a very large amount of army is still in this country, which is now their army, which is actually going to allow these guys to make a large push into the old country and start going down here, cutting this part off. I think I can turn this off. And now this country's split into 2. Isn't that fun, huh? Well, now these guys are encircling a part of the army down here, and these guys are kind of terrified because these guys actually just got rid of a very large amount of their army. Isn't that fun? A country that you attacked is now beating you. Huh, how fun. Because these guys will go here now, but these guys will cut them off back away from the coast. But they still can't break through to down here. And now this is looking like this. Isn't that just crazy? Now these guys will go here and capture this part right here. And again, still very tempted to attack these guys, but they will hold off for now. But so what will happen is these guys will go right here and then right here, because now these guys are just absolutely cooked. They are just going to start encircling all of this, and now it's just going less and less well. But these guys finally will be able to make a breakthrough down here and free a lot of this area. But it's no use because they're starting to lose, and now they're asking for peace, which these guys accept. All right, so as we can see, this country right here, they kind of took a chunk out of these guys, and now they are very sad. They are now, I think, 3 There are now only 3 provinces. Oh boy, these guys. Let's just say their plan backfired, and now it's not going too well. And that's just fun. Now the strongest country is now very weak. Huh. How interesting. Oh yeah, there's a new thing here. A bunch of blue team troops, I mean like a lot, are on the border right here. How strange is that? Huh. That's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, here's another cool thing. If we go into this layer, we can see that there's a few things happening. And if we just open this up, just gonna quickly, there we go. Done and done. Something not very nice. Yeah, the blue team did something not very nice. I think you guys know what that is. If not, maybe it's best if you don't for now. How about that? So these guys are now upset and kind of worried because they also have to keep track of all of this so no one attacks them down here. Now they're just kind of worried, and they're now in just pure chaos because of course, this area is always in chaos. But the brown team here still being depressed is they're gonna have a little problem because they can't keep supplying this area because they lost one of their biggest money supplies, and now it's becoming more and more difficult to go around here, and it's just becoming more and more difficult. So what they decide to do is sell some of their land and also give away the rest of their land. Okay, so these guys decided to give away 3 provinces and make them 3 brand new countries because this area was especially hard to take care of from how far away it was, but they are able to keep onto these provinces, also because they have a pretty large population, especially right here, so they decided to keep that. But these 3 provinces are now free, and if I'm going to be honest, probably not going to be free for very long. Hello. So they're, who knows if they will survive for long or not, but what we do know is that they will do a bit of expanding. Yes, because this is the age of expansion. And seeing all these events, I'm going to make that look a little better. Seeing with all these events, these guys are actually like kind of surprised because like, just look at this chaos in area. Because these guys have never like had rebellions or anything like that. They've been all kind and peaceful. These guys, they're breaking apart every other second. So these guys are just wondering, what world were we born into? Like, oh my goodness. So these guys, they don't want anything bad to happen. So they continue to be nice, but they also try to make friends with the countries, with those new countries to them, because I mean, I guess they're the originals. So these guys, well, most of them make friends. Some of them have mixed opinions. For example, these guys right here aren't the best of friends with like a lot of these countries because they feel like you're thinking of life wrong. It's about happiness, not war and violence. But the thing is, all of these guys here can expand and everything because they have a pretty open area. These guys, the original humans, were born on a very small and tight peninsula, so you can see how that's a bit of a problem with all this chaos right here. So in a way, these guys have a bit more freedom to expand and stuff. So that's definitely a reason why they haven't attacked each other yet. But even if they were, I feel like it'd be a lot more difficult. It wouldn't happen like with such a high chance of doing that. But the green team will also do expanding because it's the age of expansion. There we go. Oh man, these guys became very big. Whoopsie. Also, these guys should probably do some expansion because they're definitely the weakest out of everyone here. But like, they're still something because I mean they're in this new world where you can expand quite a bit. I know, shocker right there. There we go. The red team obviously won't do expanding here because they don't want anything bad to happen to it because they're in this little peaceful world / area with each other, so they have their little friendships right there. But what's not friendship is these two attacking each other because of course we have to. I mean, that's a must. So these guys they feel like they kind of got cheated, that these guys got a bunch of land and they can't expand, so they want to also be powerful. So what they're going to do is they're going to use their army to split this country into 2, which allows them to take over all of this. What the heck? Which allows them to take over all of this because there's not really any communication. So the army has no clue what is happening, and they just kind of get swept over. And which allows them to just focus on this part because these guys do have a fairly strong army. Because again, it really depends on like. Look, the brown team took most of the stuff, but they did allow something. So countries like the orange team wouldn't just like instantly like kill. I mean, then again, the orange team was kind of friends with them, so I don't think they would want to really anger the brown team. But the blue team definitely would. So they gave them kind of an army to fend for themselves. But these guys decided to take the capital finally. And then this country just completely falls. So yeah, now there's only 2 countries here, and one is a bit stronger than the other. So we'll probably be seeing this country fight this one. But until then, I don't know. I think this is going to be a slightly shorter video. It's just been not the easiest thing recently. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions for anything else I could do for videos, that would be much appreciated. And that's all.